One thing I have just got to appreciate about Apple is that how close they're getting that difference between a Pro series iPad and the Air series with the performance lineup. Because over the couple of years, they're trying to bridge that gap, and I really like it because the new iPad Air M3 is getting you some very cool pro level performance, and that too at a price tag that doesn't hit you that hard. And in this video, we have the newly launched iPad Air M3, and we're going to be talking about some of the cool features that have been introduced, some of the incremental updates, and why exactly you should consider buying the new iPad Air. Hey guys, I'm Cyrus, you're watching Fiiber by India today, and in this video we are taking a comprehensive, detailed look at the new iPad Air. We have the 13-inch with us today, so if you're looking for a tablet under maybe 70,000 rupees, you should watch this video. Alright, first up, design. I know when the new iPad was launched, the meme fest, everybody was talking about what has Apple done here. Because yes, design-wise, a lot of people criticized Apple for not changing a lot with the new M3 chipset, because compared to the M2 version, it's almost the same. Yes, it's 1 gram lighter, I understand, but hang on. The question here is, if something isn't broken, why try to fix it? I think that's a philosophy that a lot of people do not understand, because the design of the new M3, I think, is good enough, because the last time the M2 was also good. So you shouldn't be looking to change things around, right? Because the people like this design. So yes, while the M2 was a good device in the hand, I think the 13 is also meeting all the check boxes. The only thing is, if you are wanting a very lightweight, very compact design, I would prefer going for the 11-inch variant, because the 13-inch can feel a little overwhelming in the hand, despite the fact that it's not that heavy. But carrying this around could be a problem for some people. But otherwise, the design is absolutely perfect. Aluminium body, flat sides, rounded corners. It looks sleek, feels pretty handy in the hand. So again, no deal breakers as such. But if you're still hanging on to the same point of why they have kept it the same as 2024, then I'm sorry, I've already lost you. The one thing, yes, that did tick me off a little was the glass that's been used on the display, because it attracts a lot of smudges and fingerprints. If you are using the iPad, you are obviously using with your fingers, and if, for heaven's sake, if you have oily fingers, or if you you leave a lot of smudges on your screen, you'll have to keep cleaning it again and again. And imagine at the end of the day, you have an iPad with you with a blanket of fingerprint, and that just looks very not so nice. So yes, you'll have to keep a cloth with you, keep cleaning it. That is the inconvenience of this one, because it is a fingerprint magnet. Rest, I think the overall design for the iPad Air is a good one. Again, the design choices and the size choices, I'll leave it up to you. 11 is more compact and handy. 13 gives you a bigger form factor if you like big things, if you know what I mean. Talking about the display, this one that I have today is a 13-inch liquid retina display, 600 nits of brightness. And if you're using the iPad indoors under controlled environments, I don't think you will have any sort of problem consuming content. Yes, the difference could lie when you take it outside where the sun is harsh, where the lighting is a bit harsh, because there's a lot of glare and reflection that you have to deal with. I dealt with it, so I think you will have the same problem. But if you're consuming content indoors, if you're using it indoors, I don't think, and if you angle properly, also a big factor, you should be okay with this one. Yeah, again, one thing that a lot of people have been talking about is the refresh rate, because the iPad Air is still sticking to the old 60 Hz refresh rate screen, and in 2025, that can tick off a lot of people, because a lot of tablets today are offering 90 Hz to 120 Hz of refresh rate. Just makes the experience a lot more smoother, and the visual experience is all that the iPad is about, right? So if you're watching movies, or if you're just running basic applications, the way the animations go, the smoothness kind of is a delight to the eyes when you're watching it, right? So 60 Hz could be a deal breaker of some people, but again, it's not bad. I'm just saying the lower refresh rate could be a deal breaker. Overall, I think the iPad Air's display is good for content consumption, for playing games, for your basic daily tasks. Yes, the brightness could be a problem when you take it outdoors, but again, that's basically with every tablet, right? So just use it in controlled environments. And yes, remember the 60 Hertz, I keep harping on it, but just wanted to put it on there. Moving on to the performance, yes, this is a big update indeed, because the M3 chip now in the Air ecosystem means you are getting almost a pro level performer. Because I was using the iPad Pro for almost 9 months now, and the kind of applications I was running on it, I ran the same apps on the Air, and the difference is hardly there. Because in terms of specifications, I'll give you some numbers. 16.7% faster CPU performance, 18.5% better GPU, and 6% better Antutu scores have been recorded on the Air compared to the M2 processor, by the way, which clearly means that you are moving closer to that pro area. And I ran applications like Adobe Rush, which is a video editing software. I ran 3D render object applications. I was actually making 3D objects within the iPad Air. I was gaming on it, watching content on it. Not once did this thing lag or stutter, which means that the performance bump is clearly there, and even you will recognize it when you are buying it. So yes, it can perform at an optimum level with the efficiency of the M3. And remember, hardware accelerated ray tracing also improves your overall gaming performance. We tried playing Diablo Immortal and games like Asphalt Legends on the iPad, and in terms of the graphics and the way the shadows and the lighting was changing within the app, just makes the whole experience more immersive. So if you're looking for a gaming engine as well, the iPad Air is a capable one. Talking about video editing, yes, I rendered a 2-minute HD video on this machine, and compared to the M1 Pro chipset, this was faster, which means that even if you are making small video clips, HD version, you can edit all of that in here, right? But again, playing and gaming on the 13-inch variant can be a bit overwhelming, because this is a large screen and you cannot keep holding it for long hours. Yes, if you're bundling it with a controller, then maybe it makes more sense. If you have a keyboard or a mouse that's compatible with the game, then you can, play AAA titles and high-end games. But if you do not have the controller, yes, gaming can be a bit cumbersome on a larger screen. The 11-inch variant could be better if you really want to game on a bigger screen. But apart from that, I think the performance engine, the performance pack on the M3 is excellent. And I really didn't miss my Pro tablet when I was using this one. So you're very close to the Pro level experience with this. And remember, 8 gigs of RAM is what you're getting on the iPad Air, which means your overall performance efficiency is taken care of. You get different storage variants also, which you can choose as per your preference. So overall, a comprehensive package right here. The camera on the rear is a 12 megapixel shooter. On the front, you're getting a 12 megapixel selfie camera as well. The good thing is it's on the landscape mode, which means attending Zoom meetings isn't awkward, and you don't have to orient your tablet in an awkward position, because that's just inconvenient. Yes, the center stage tech, which means you will be at the center whenever you are on a Zoom call. I tried this tech. It really helps if you're moving a lot, and it's just handy when people want to just move from one place to another when they're attending these meetings. So good tech to have. The rear camera isn't the best, I would say, for a tablet, or even if you're clicking Insta-worthy content, because yes, the megapixel count is there. Yes, you get 4K recording, but apart from that, if you want to click a good picture, use your smartphone. This I use for mostly QR codes and basic emergencies, but not recommended for anything that you want to put on Instagram. The support for Apple Pencil is a handy addition for people who do a lot of creative work with the iPad. Remember, I do not have the creative skills, but people who do can use the Apple Pencil Pro. You can clip it on with the magnetic edition that you have here, and the extra features that the Pro brings, you can use on the canvas of the M3. And remember, these applications might not be lightweight, because you're doing a lot of creative work here. You're using a lot of graphics, and the Pencil Pro just enhances your utility, your creativity. So you have the performance engine, you have the Apple Pencil, just bundle it if you want a good creative system with you. And remember, I would like to add, for people who do a lot of typing work, do a lot of basic work, scrolling the internet, checking your emails, you can bundle it with the Magic Keyboard. And yes, the M3 now supports Magic Keyboard. That extra function key at the top just enhances utility, but remember, a trackpad, a keyboard that is you're physically typing on it, just will help you better, because yes, I did not use it on the 13-inch, but I had used it on the iPad Pro earlier, and it saved me a lot of pain because I didn't have to keep switching between my laptop and my iPad with this new functionality. So yes, invest around 27 to 30,000. You're getting a keyboard, you're getting extra protection with the cover, you're getting a trackpad. I think your setup is complete. It's almost as close you can get to a laptop experience with a tablet. Apple Intelligence is indeed a big factor for people to switch to the Apple ecosystem, and the Air is also getting Apple Intelligence. Yes, we didn't get to experience the AI on the M3 because it's not here. If you're buying it immediately, you won't get to experience any Apple Intelligence features. However, if you wait a couple of weeks, you'll get all of the AI on the Air. Battery life, again, Apple says that you get 10 hours of video playing on the Air, which I almost got close to. Because during my testing, I tried Jio Hotstar, Netflix, Amazon Prime. I started my video streaming at 100% battery, and almost 6 hours in, the battery drained obviously, but I could get 6 hours, which is great. And remember, I was using Wi-Fi, I had all the applications running on the background, I had brightness peaked up to 100%, and despite all of that, I could still get 6 hours of playtime, which again, for an iPad is impressive. The only thing that could be a downer for a lot of people is the 20-watt charging and the charger that you get in the box, because it takes a long time, almost 90 plus minutes to charge the iPad from 0 to 100. And for people who need quick charge, you'll be disappointed. But again, to make sure that you understand this, the iPad doesn't require you to keep charging it again and again on a daily basis. With the kind of standby time you're getting, you will easily be able to use it for 2 to 3 days. It's not your smartphone, right? So even if you are getting 90 minutes of charging, I think that's good enough. I mean, you don't charge it all the time, right? But yes, I would say that it would have been good if faster charging would have been included, and in 2025, 20 watt just feels too slow. Sorry, Apple. Now let's talk about pricing and the overall verdict. The starting price for the 11-inch iPad Air in India is around 60,000 rupees, and if you want to go for the 13-inch variant, it goes up to 80,000 rupees. And I think this is good pricing because Apple hasn't changed the pricing for the iPad in India despite the inflation, despite the price rise and a lot of conversation around tariffs. The pricing is same, which means if you're looking to enter the iPad or the tablet ecosystem, this is good pricing. And with the addition of the M3 chip, you are moving closer to the pro level performance. And if you don't want to spend a lot on pro tablets, I think the M3 is perfect for you. Yes, you'll have to spend extra for the keyboard and the Apple Pencil Pro, but if you're just looking for the tablet experience, I think this is good pricing to have. With performance, everything, you'll get Apple Intelligence, great battery life, and overall I think it's a good tablet to go for. Which is why in our Fiiber rating, we will give the iPad Air M3 13 a solid 8 out of 10, which is great. That's it for this review of the iPad Air. Let us know in the comment section what you think about this latest gizmo from Apple, and if you have any opinions and topics that you want to discuss on this device or any other Apple device, please reach out to us on our comment section. I'll be back with more tech around Apple and other things as well. This is Cyrus signing off. Take care, guys. I'll see you very soon.